The most devastating technique that we've seen from Jan Blachowicz so far is the left leg body kick. Now, usually Jan is an orthodox fighter, but you will see him in his fight switch to a southpaw stance to open up this back leg kick. It's a very powerful technique, and I'm pretty sure he's left-footed, which means that that is a much more comfortable technique for him to throw. So I'm going to start in southpaw. And what I'm looking for, especially when he's in this stance in the fight, I'm looking for him to feint with the left hand to get this elbow to lift up, because the target I'm looking for is the ribs, the floating rib, the liver. Whatever I can hit around this side of the body is going to take a lot of the fight out of him. So as I'm standing in my stance here, just before I throw the kick, I just need to feint with the left hand. So as the hand comes out, the kick will follow it. And I'm not exposing myself at all with this, but I am getting the reaction that I want to open up that technique, that target area that I'm aiming for. And what you'll see when he lands this, it will take a lot of the fight out of his opponent. They'll drop their arms, they'll back up, and then Jan will start to stalk them and pick a good clean shot to finish the fight with. We're all very familiar with Alexander Gustafsson, and we know he's a very well-rounded kickboxer, but there's one particular technique that he's used over and over again that I'd like to point out. And the beauty of this technique is that you can use it at several different ranges. It's a very adaptable technique. So the first one I want to talk about, you'll see it in the Cormier fight, you'll see it in the Thiago Silva fight. And what Gustafsson tends to find is, because he's usually taller than his opponent, if I'm throwing a straight right to my opponent, I can throw it like a traditional boxing punch. But if he's taller, I tend to reach, which exposes my chin. And he makes the most of this a lot of the time. So as my opponent's stepping in with a big overhand right here, he's going to cover and counter just there. Because his opponent's leaning over, it makes it much of an easier target to catch. So standing in his stance, he'll stand in range, he'll cover, and then he'll come right under the chin with the uppercut. It's a really nice technique, but it's not the only way he can use it. There are several different ways he sets it up, because he knows it's a good technique and because he's invested in it. And the other way I like him to use it is when he's backing his opponent up, when he's now being the aggressor, because he sets it up with a really lazy slap left hook. What it does is it brings the guard out to the side, which opens up this valley, this channel in between, so I can come through with the uppercut. And because he's got such a long reach, he can catch people as they're moving backwards. So what you'll see him do, he'll start to move forward and he'll throw a really lazy slap, and then as they take another step back, he throws the big uppercut, bam, right to the chin. And usually, even though they're moving backwards, he can catch them on the end of the punch and knock them off balance. It's a really useful technique, particularly to back people up against the fence and use his knees.